In February 2024, a finance worker at a multinational engineering firm attended a video conference with their CFO and several other executives. Everyone looked and sounded perfectly normal. Following their instructions, the worker authorized a $25 million transfer, only to realize later that every face and voice on that screen was an AI-generated deepfake. This level of targeted deception used to be the exclusive domain of state-sponsored hackers. Today, generative AI has handed those exact same capabilities to everyday criminals for a fraction of the cost. The math of cybercrime has changed. This chart shows that since 2023, the cost to launch a spear phishing campaign has dropped by 95%, fueling a 1,265% spike in attack volume. Attackers now use large language models like FraudGPT to automate the heavy lifting. These tools autonomously scrape LinkedIn profiles, corporate websites, and public data leaks to build comprehensive dossiers on your employees in seconds. This automation enables polymorphic campaigns. A polymorphic campaign is an attack where an AI generates thousands of contextually unique emails in minutes, altering the subject lines, changing the phrasing, and sender logic for every individual target. Because the AI never repeats the same phrasing or malicious code twice, there is no recognizable pattern for traditional email filters to flag. Signature-based defense systems are now functionally blind. Most enterprises still rely on a standard defense status quo, a legacy secure email gateway, or SEG, paired with an annual don't-click compliance quiz. These gateways fail because they scan for known bad links and attachments. AI-generated phishing uses clean text and perfect grammar to manipulate the user's intent, avoiding technical red flags entirely. The annual compliance training is similarly outdated. Research shows that training effects fade completely within 4 months, leaving employees defenseless against evolving tactics for most of the year. Furthermore, multi-channel threats like vishing, voice cloning over the phone, and smishing via SMS bypass the corporate email inbox entirely. To survive, organizations must shift from checking compliance boxes to building a continuous behavioral defense. But finding the right solution requires matching the technology to your specific risk profile. The first category involves legacy compliance platforms, such as KnowBe4 and Proofpoint, which are built around massive, static template libraries. Operationally, these systems require admins to manually assign quarterly or annual video modules and generic template tests to the workforce. This is the most efficient path to satisfying strict regulatory audits like HIPAA or PCI DSS, providing a clear paper trail for compliance officers. These systems also integrate smoothly with older Active Directory setups and legacy gateways, requiring very little architectural change to deploy. The trade-off is content fatigue. Employees learn to recognize the static vendor templates rather than learning how to identify a dynamically generated AI lure. This approach creates a false sense of security by prioritizing auditor satisfaction over actual breach prevention. The second strategy is vulnerability-driven defense, which focuses on an individual's digital footprint through platforms like Brightside AI. This model relies on OSINT, open source intelligence, the methodology of harvesting public data from sources like LinkedIn, social media, and leaked databases.
Deep OSINT scans calculate an individualized exposure score, aggregating data points like social media and password leaks into a high-risk profile. The system then generates AI spear phishing simulations, pulling this exposed data to create the exact context an attacker would exploit. Because this involves scanning personal digital footprints, it can trigger internal privacy concerns that require careful management by HR and leadership. Ultimately, OSINT platforms allow you to protect your human attack surface by exposing vulnerabilities before the attackers do. The third model is the integrated AI-native SEG, exemplified by platforms like Strongest Layer. This moves away from the traditional gateway by installing an LLM-native engine that reads email context and intent as a human analyst would. The system identifies payload-less zero-day attacks and immediately converts those blocked real-world threats into training simulations for your staff. This creates a telemetry advantage. A novel attack caught at one company immediately immunizes every other organization on the network. However, this is a rip-and-replace integration. It demands high architectural switching costs and a significant initial financial investment. This provides the highest level of technical protection, but it requires a major budgetary and structural commitment from IT leadership. The fourth approach is inbox-native gamification, used by platforms like Hawkshunt and Adaptive Security. This model replaces annual training with continuous, bite-sized micro-simulations delivered directly into the employee's workflow every 10 to 14 days. The platform's algorithm scales difficulty automatically, increasing the complexity of simulations for users with high reporting rates. These platforms also offer multi-channel simulations, preparing employees for deepfake voice calls and SMS-based attacks. The trade-off is high frequency. Persistent leaderboards and constant testing can cause simulation fatigue or clash with more conservative corporate cultures. This method is designed to build the muscle memory required to drop failure rates toward 1% without overhauling your entire tech stack. Selecting the wrong security model leaves your organization exposed while wasting your budget. This framework maps your organization to the correct defense strategy based on your primary goal: audit focus, behavioral change, or protecting a high-value target. If your only mandate is surviving an auditor's checklist with zero infrastructure budget, choose legacy libraries. If you need measurable habit building without overhauling your IT architecture, look toward adaptive gamification. High-value targets facing well-funded adversaries should invest their budget in the maximum protection offered by OSINT scanning or AI-native gateways. Resilient defense requires aligning your choice with your organization's actual risk appetite, not the loudest marketing message. We have to accept that as generative models improve, technical detection of AI text and deepfakes will eventually become unreliable. Modern security training focuses on creating human friction. In practice, this means establishing callback procedures, using verbal safe words for financial transfers, and habitually questioning executive urgency. This reflexive behavior can only be built through continuous, personalized exposure to realistic, high-stakes simulations. It is time to retire the static playbook. In the AI era, adopting a continuous, verified trust defense is the only way to avoid becoming a multi-million-dollar headline.